Hello and welcome. Today we are doing another project in our block of the month, and this block that we're going to do today is called the Log Cabin Block. Log cabin quilts are made of arrangements of repeated single block. The log cabin block consists of light and dark fabrics. They represent the walls of the log cabin. The red center represents hearth or fire. This is a traditional quilt. As the years go on, they do change, or has changed, but this is the history of the traditional quilt. Quilt historians found that the log cabin became popular in 1863 when the Union Army was raising money for the Civil War by raffling off quilts. Today is a very simple project, or block. I'm using jelly roll fabric, but you can use any fabric that you like. You can make the strips as big as you want or as narrow as you would like. You just want to keep the consistency. So today we're going to do it with the 2.5 inch jelly roll to make it a little easier. So the finished product or finished square will be 14 inches finished. It's going to measure around 14.5 until it gets sewn together. So let's get started. Hi and welcome. I'm Jackie with Jackie Russell Creates, where we talk about everything quilting. I hope to inspire you to make traditional patchwork quilts or art quilts, whether they're big or small. So for today's quilt block, all you're going to need is a bunch of strips. You're going to need fabric that's light and dark. We're going to start out with our center fabric, which is red, and it's 2.5 by 2.5. So this is what the pattern is going to look like as we sew it together. I will have a file just like this in the description below so you can be able to print it off and have it as you're making this block. So we're starting with our block 1, which is 2.5 by 2.5. That's our center color. We're going to then take our light fabric, and you're going to need 2.5 by 2.5 block, and then you're going to need a 2.5 by 4.5. And then we're going to start with our dark color. You're going to need a 4.5 by 2.5. and a 2.5 by 6.5. Now we're going back to light, and it's going to be 2.5 by 6.5 and 2.5 by 8.5. And don't worry about these measurements. We'll have them in the description box below. Now we're going to go back to our dark color, and it's going to be 8.5 by 2.5 and 2.5 by 10.5. Now we're going to go back to our light, 10.5, 12.5. And our last of the dark, it's 12.5 by 14.5. So you can see how it is. So when we start, you're going to start with the center, and you're going to go clockwise around your block. So we're going to start with the two center pieces, or the center piece and then the one light, and you're going to sew that at 1/4 inch. And then we're going to press the seam, and when you press, you're always going to press toward the new block that you just sewn on. So in this case, we're going to press it to the light. And then we're going to add our next block on. You can pin if you'd like to be able to keep everything straight and together, making sure to trim off all our pieces of thread, our ends. We're going to press this, and I always like to kind of lay it back down so we know which ones are next. So now we're going to the dark fabric, and we're going to stitch that one on. We're going to press that to the new block that we just put on. And this way, everything's going to lay flat. So now we're going to the top. And this is strip 5, if you're following off of this diagram. Like I said, you can pin, you can just sew however you like. So we're going to press, we're going to set that stitch line, and then we're going to press just by holding up and using the weight of the iron to the new block that we put on. So you can see here as it's going around, and you can add as many strips or as little of the strips as you want. Like you can stop right here at your log cabin block. We're going to add, you know, several more. You can continue to add more than what we have here, which is what, 13 strips. You can just keep going around and adding more and make one big block as your quilt top. So we're going to continue to add these pieces on. So I'm going to continue to add these strips around, and we'll be back for the finish reveal. So there we go. There is our log cabin block. As you can see, we went gradually into darker. You could keep going until this is like totally black, and this is a darker gray that's lighter than this color, and just keep on going. You can make this any color you want and add, you know, whatever colors, as long as you're going and have light and you have dark. You can, when you put this together, you can put it so you have black and black and black together, or darks and then your lights together. You can rotate these however you want to be able to put them together. So I hope you enjoyed making this traditional log cabin block with me today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment below what a block, whether it's traditional or a modern block, that you would like to see demonstrated and put together for you, so then I can create another video just for you. If you're new here and you feel like sticking around, please hit the subscribe button and that notification bell. It really does help my channel, and I really do appreciate it. I love the support that everybody has given me. And coming up on the screen is a playlist with all the block of the month that we have, so be sure to check that out. There is also a video coming up of the newest project that we have created. Until then, happy quilting, my friend.